I don't think we have seen a game with more high-quality offensive chances, post, cross-ice passes, goalies making unbelievable saves than the Carolina Hurricanes and the New York Rangers since last night against the Colorado Avalanche and the St. Louis Blues. What is going on in the NHL? Everybody copies everybody. Whatever happens in one series seems to carry over to the next one. It happened in the first one. It's happening in this one. Let's talk all about the Rangers and the Canes, because even though there weren't a lot of technically shots on goals, this was a barn burner and an absolutely strange, curious, enigmatic quagmire of a game. Well, let's talk about it. I think the short summary of this game is, first off, we didn't see this coming. By we, I mean me. I definitely thought this was going to be more of a Carolina Hurricanes controlling the puck in the offensive zone. We talked about the fact that I think they're the bigger, better team in terms of team structure. They're going to roll four lines. The New York Rangers are going to go ahead and play solid team defense around Shesterkin, because that's what the Rangers are built on. And the Rangers are going to do their damage on the power play. And absolutely none of that happened. One, we didn't have any power plays other than two, so really tough for either team to get to work. Number two, Carolina was completely disjointed, at least in the first two periods, but I'm just going to say the whole game. That when Rob the Bod came out, Brind'Amour for Carolina, and just said he didn't really like what his team was doing in terms of passing, puck control, all those types of things. Ranger fans may disagree because Carolina ended up dominating in the third, but Rob the Bod didn't like it. If I was on the bench for Carolina too, I probably wouldn't like it. And Rob the Bod's answer was to just mix and match his lines like crazy. When things aren't working and they're going completely wrong, you just got to switch it up and see what happens. So I think Carolina went with like 7 or 8 different line combinations. The only line combination they left together was the Staal, Niederreiter, and Fast line, which as a unit got more ice time than any other line combination on the ice. Makes sense. We called them as the X factor for the Carolina Hurricanes going forward. They shut down the team's best scoring lines, and lo and behold, they did it again today. That's just their job. They did it to the Bruins. They're going to do it to the Rangers. However, it was the Rangers really in the first two periods that just had massive amounts of scoring chances. Post-to-post kick saves by Raanta. There was rebound saves by Raanta. There was post. There was wide nets that were open and missed. All in all, I'd say Shesterkin and Raanta battled. If you had to have a summary of this game, it was a goalie battle. They may not have made a ton of saves because the shot count wasn't over 30 for either team, but they made massive saves. Those were high danger chances coming at those goalies, and Raanta was able to hold out longer than Shesterkin due to an errant bounce, a bad luck bouncing puck off Jacob Trouba's pants. He's not even in front of the net. The puck misses the net, hits a player not in the shooting lane, comes out, and they end up scoring. That's the story of the game. Funny bounces. So Carolina takes this one at home. Ranger fans have nothing to panic about. Ranger fans are going to feel ugly about this one, and you should, because you should have won this game. At least that's the way I feel. It's probably the way you feel. Canes fans might feel like they stole something and they're running away, but you could also feel like you had a great third period and your team depth finally came together, and Antti Raanta did just as good as Shesterkin. So what did we steal? We had a lot of puck control. The zone time from the Carolina Hurricanes was high. So it's really difficult to walk away and tell either fan base that their varying opinions here are wrong, because there are so many ways you can watch and interpret this game. If I have to put my stamp on this game, I'm going to put my stamp on the fact that this was a goaltending battle. This was a duo of brilliance on both ends of the puck, and an errant puck bounce ends up winning it for the Carolina Hurricanes. So it's just one game. I think this is going to be a very close series, 6 or 7 for sure. I wouldn't get too discouraged if I was the New York Ranger fans. I would be super pumped if I was Carolina, because that's 1-0. That's exactly what you want to do at home. And then we're going to proceed on to game 2. And speaking of proceeding, thank you for all of your support here on this channel. You have helped us grow and proceed like crazy. Give me a big thumbs up. Smash subscribe if you're new here. We're starting to get a really solid audience base of repeat watchers coming through here, so you know what to do with that thumbs up button, and to comment down below. Hey, saying anything, even saying hi, helps share this channel, so we really appreciate it. And if you've been thinking about it for some time, there's a membership page down below to sponsor the channel if you'd like to. You can join these beauties here who have gone ahead and been part of Coach Ryan D's coaching staff. Big shout out to everybody. Amazing Kook. Hey, he's a massive Rangers fan. I know he was disappointed. He was in our Discord chat. We chat a lot. So Whether or not you are part of the membership page or you just want to join Coach Ryan D, the Discord chat is always free. Get in there. We have over 150 avid hockey fans going bananas talking. It's not toxic. It's an incredible group environment. Big shout out to those 150 folks that are in there every day with me. They're all wonderful, super respectful, great community there. We want you to join it. But there's two ways to join community. There's priority access with the member page, or you can hang out in the Discord. I'm in both, so you'll be able to do both. And the final way you can give Coach Ryan D a big monetized shout out is a super thanks down below if you feel so inclined. So 3 ways to do it: comment, thanks, thumbs up, love it, monetized ways to do it, and a Discord chat for you to come participate and join our growing community. By the way, our content will always be free. I won't be hiding any content behind a paywall anytime soon. I feel as we get deeper into the rounds, this has become a really good site to really explain what was going on. This was a near 50-50 game. I mean, 53%, 46%, split it down the middle. Both teams deserve to win, and that's because the Rangers carried the first 2 periods with the Carolinas puck possession really exploding in the third and in overtime. And you can see here the scoring chances and opportunities that were around both goalies were quite high. There's a lot of dark blue bubbles. There's a lot of dark red bubbles. And this is what I mean by I think the goalies had a goalie battle. You can see all those pucks in the high and the low slot. A lot of those had to end up being saves because, of course, only 3 goals went in. So big plays by big goalies tonight. It was huge. The other nice thing is that when you take a look at how Gallant was running his ice time, I think Gallant got a little bit out coached here by Brind'Amour, to be honest, but Brind'Amour has the home ice advantage, meaning he gets last change. The first thing that stands out to me is Jacob Trouba got too much ice. You guys know I rag on Trouba. He's their defensive shutdown guy, him and Miller together. But at the end of the day, this is not enough ice time for Adam Fox. How are you supposed to win a game when your best player on the ice isn't getting enough ice? So you can't go into a full prevent defense and just start loading on your second pairing that you're hoping is going to shut down Carolina and win 1-0. You got to go out there and you got to let your goal scorers work. And Adam Fox is the way you generate a lot of the offense with the New York Rangers. He doesn't just do the goal scoring. He makes the passes. He moves the puck up. So I don't think that's good ice time management for Fox. It's a decent amount of time, but your best player's got to get more ice than that. At one point in time, Trouba had a 3-minute shift. I understand he got caught out there, so that probably jacked his numbers up by at least 2 minutes. But still, I mean, second period, I get the long change. It's too much ice time for Jacob Trouba, in my opinion. I'd like to see Fox get those 28 minutes if I'm Gallant. The other nice thing about what they did was they had a nice balance between line 1, 2, 3, and 4. So I thought for a team that has a heavy top 6, they had a fair balance in ice time. The Zibanejad line ends up playing 15 minutes. They get matched up against the Staal line. Staal line takes them completely out of the equation. And how do I know that? Well, if we come down here to the Carolina stats, there's no coincidence the Staal line's got 15 minutes. So of course the Staal line is going to end up matching against line 1. The Staal line cancel out the perfection line. They cancel it out here. So then you need the Panarin, Strome, and Copp line to do some damage. And you need the Chytil and the Young Guns line of Lafreniere and Kakko to do some damage. They did a little bit of damage tonight. I would say it was the second line that didn't get it going. You got to score goals. We talked about the fact that Raanta is in, but if the Staal line's going to take out line 1, I like how Gallant ran his lines. He gave some decent line time to his fourth line. It'll end up saving his guys as they go forward. So well done there. And then you can see here with the Canes, it was a mixed bag, right? So here's all the line combinations. You can go do your time over at moneypuck.com and check it out. But besides the Staal line, the Aho, Jarvis, Svechnikov line only got 8 minutes. And that's because you can just see it. Look, he just changes lines. It's just a massive flipping up and changing of lines. So good coaching by Brind'Amour there. And I think Brind'Amour might be the X factor in the series. He's one hell of a coach. Gallant is a damn good coach too. All coaches at this level are all coaches at this level. The playoffs are, but Brind'Amour is something special. So let's see if Gallant can pull a rabbit out of his hat in Madison Square Garden when the team flips over there and gets their home ice advantage, because there is a massive difference between playing on home ice for a coach and visiting. It's very unlike the Carolina Hurricanes defense to get caught like this, but they do. They get caught like this a bunch into weird 2-on-1s here. So that puck ends up crossing the Royal Road. And just take a look at how Raanta ends up pushing over there. It's a very calm push. I know it looks pretty chill, pretty easy, but he's able to keep his big body square by making the push the way he did. So as we come back, I just want to show you it again. Look how effortless this push is. This is really good angles without pushing past your post, and it allows you to keep a lot of body position in front, and it allows him to stop and make that save. Take a look here at the Carolina defenseman. He's pointing, he's letting his partner know which guy to pick up because he's going to pick up the shot. I actually don't super agree with this. I think he should be taking the pass all day, every day. I always feel on a 2-on-1, the defenseman wants to play closer to the middle and not let pucks cross the Royal Road. So let your back checker work towards the puck and let your goalie stop the puck. You've got to make sure you take the pass. These are just things that happen in heat of the moment. Is it right? Is it wrong? There's really no completely right way to do this. Carolina's playing it properly by backing in on the 2-on-1. That's what you want to do. You want to wait. But it's at this moment here, like you'll see defensemen, sometimes they lay down, sometimes they try to break up the play. All I would be doing at this moment is I would be making my way over to here and allowing this shot to come through. You got to also start skating back. I don't like the fact that the back checker here isn't in a skating position. He's now in a gliding position with his feet standing up. You just got to put your head down and bust your way back. You shouldn't be trying to fill the passing lane at this point in time. You just take the pass away, let Raanta stop the shot so he doesn't have to make the post-to-post save. But they don't do that. Raanta does make the post-to-post save, and that is just great goaltending. Carolina again with an uncharacteristic turnover in the neutral zone. This isn't their game. It's not what they're used to. This is what I mean by both Brind'Amour and I saw a Carolina team doing things they just don't normally do. And New York takes advantage of it as they should. So in this turnover, you'll see they end up moving that puck across the Royal Road again. And Raanta as well is unable to make that save. That's the Chytil goal. That is just a beautiful goal. I mean, no matter what you do, when you get plays like this, there's just not much you're going to be able to do to stop it as a goalie. So when they stop it, it's a bonus. And you can see here in the neutral zone, what ends up causing it is actually a bad pinch. So it's a little bit of a bouncing puck here. And on that bouncing puck by DeAngelo, he gives it away. That's just not what you want to do on this play. So if you're Tony D with this, all you want to do is eat the puck. You got to realize you're outnumbered here. So when we talk about feet, then hands, then head, you want to go ahead and make sure that your feet are moving here, which is great, but don't move your hands first. Use your brain first. So I think I said feet, hands, head. It's feet, head, hands. So first move your feet. He's doing it. Next, take a look, shoulder check, see what's going on. And if you're unsure, just turn against the boards, use body position and eat it. That's what DeAngelo should do. He ends up trying what we call a neutral zone regroup, which is just a pass back to his defensive partner here. And that neutral zone regroup causes a turnover. And now they're in a little bit of trouble because they end up with a 3-on-1. The defenseman here does the absolute right thing. On a 3-on-1 here, this ends up actually becoming a 2-on-1 because DeAngelo has done a really good job back checking. He ends up neutralizing it. Again, you want to make sure you're taking this passer. So go ahead and let this shot occur. You just can't let the puck cross that Royal Road. But when you stay in the middle like this and you try to make the home run play and take all of it away, you can end up leaving your goalie out to dry. So the first time we saw it work, the second time it obviously doesn't work. And this is why you want to give the goalie the best chance possible. And the best chance possible is for him to just get a straight shot on. If that shot beats him, it is what it is. And not to harp on the point, but this is a brilliant angle to see it. You can see he's going ahead to make that pass around Slavin. It's just the circle. Like, this should be an easy angle for a goalie to stop 9 out of 10 times, which is why you want the shot coming from there and you don't want that pass to go through. So on a fast game, it's hard to see, but when you slow it down frame by frame, you can see just let him have the shot. Probably has it. As well going on in the first period, Carolina gets caught running around in their own zone again. And when they get caught running around in their own zone, you'll see the defenseman finally makes the right call. He goes ahead. He takes away Panarin here. That's the key. Now he's going to leave the shot for Antti Raanta. As he leaves that shot for Antti Raanta, he's able to make a much easier save at this point. It's a brutal save. It's a hard save, but he has a way better chance at making that save over the fact that that puck ends up moving over to Panarin. So the save that he ends up making is a more ideal save. You can see where Panarin is. The defenseman doesn't take away Panarin. It's an easy backdoor tap in. So give your goalie a chance. Let him do his job. Let him make the save. Raanta does it there, and they get to stay in the game. Still in the first period, another bouncing puck causes an errant turnover and a 2-on-1 here at this point. And again, defenseman caught puck watching. Why are we puck watching? All you got to do is lift the stick here. It's not a big deal. Just go ahead, lift the stick, tie him up. Once you have him tied up, Raanta will be able to handle that shot, but he doesn't. That stick ends up staying loose, and that's a very, very dangerous shot for Raanta. So he was brilliant tonight. That is 3 saves he technically shouldn't have made, but did. 1 that went in that is not his fault in any way. So Raanta is up 3-1 in high danger chances. And that's why the game was won by Carolina right there. That could have been 4-0 and probably should have at least been 3-0 for New York by this time. Speaking of big saves in the second, again, Carolina just collapsing around their own net. That puck ends up going from the top of your screen to the left of your screen. Watch the Raanta push. He makes it look so easy for a backup. Like, this is Carey Price level pad pushes. Just a really nice job, gets square to the puck. He loses the rebound. I mean, an elite goalie would have been able to hold that rebound, and we're not going to beat him up too much on this. Not at all. It was a beautiful save on that one. Carolina ends up finding that rebound, kicking it to the corner, which is exactly what you want. So Raanta keeps you in the game. 8 minutes to go in the period. Just a nice friendly nod out to my buddy Seth Jarvis here. This is one of the fastest guys in the league. What a great job by Miller here closing the gap and then just wholesaling the kid. Jarvis is tough as nails. He's a piece of rebar. He'll get up. He'll be fine. But that is a big hit in the playoffs. Jarvie, kid, welcome to the show. I mean, yikes. Absolutely yikes. Wholesaled completely. I'm glad he's all right. More work here by the Rangers with a beautiful cross ice pass. They're lucky they end up fanning on it. But again, you just see Carolina Hurricanes just laying all over. And this is why Ranger fans can feel sick to their stomach. Maybe even 5-0 at this point could have been the opportunity, but unfortunately, a fan puck there by Miller. The third period, the onslaught ends up stopping. And look, I don't know what's going on with defensemen here, but tie up some sticks here, boys. They don't. Beautiful save by Shesterkin. Again, doing his best Antti Raanta impression, or is Raanta going ahead and copying the great Igor Shesterkin? Huge post-to-post save by Shesterkin to keep them in the game. That should have been a 1-1 game there as well, too. So the goalie battle in full effect on both sides. Chance to put away the game here for New York. I don't know about this. Like, Ian Cole gets a stick in there. After the sticks in there, you've got a solid standing upright Ranger, but the Ranger ends up going down at that point in time. There's no call here by the referee. Big save by Raanta. I don't normally get into calls there. Look, it's not a call. It's not a penalty. Everybody's got to move on with life, but I think there's maybe a slight argument to be made there that Carolina could have gotten away with one, and that might have changed and flipped the game. 3 minutes left in the game, and a little puck fumble here by the Rangers in their own zone. Necas is able to pick up that puck beautifully. It's unfortunate that it goes, and you can see Aho's already initiated the fast break. He knows with only 2 minutes and 52 seconds left on the ice, he's usually a defensive first guy. You may as well leave the zone now early, so this is a little bit of cheating by Aho. Good defensive zone says you shouldn't be doing this. But 3 minutes left on the clock, down by 1, says leave all day. And you see the 2-line stretch as it goes, perfectly onside, perfectly timed. Trouba, the guy who has logged 28 minutes in this game, isn't going to catch Aho. And this is what I mean about ice time management. So it's great that Trouba is one of their better shutdown guys, but at this point in time, he's pretty tired. He's got to be worn out. Aho is relatively fresh, ends up getting a beautiful shot here. Puck doesn't go in, but you got to be really careful with plays like that and keeping your horses on the ice for too long. Later on in that exact same shift, Jacob Trouba is still out there. We've only got away about 10 seconds. New York fails to clear the zone at this point. Trouba is exhausted, and now you end up having a 3-on-2, and who's it going to be? It's going to be Aho again, of course. So with Trouba tired, he gets caught leaning and reaching. This is always a sign of being tired. Take a look at Trouba here. He's nearing the end of a shift. He's had massive amounts of minutes. He's going to go ahead and reach in there and try to make the home run play. I think a Jacob Trouba here, who is more relaxed and better, is able to make that play all day, every day. Unfortunately, he can't do it. The bread man, as it turns, backing up, backing in, is unable to get back there to support the 2-on-1. And this is what results in the Carolina goal to take them to overtime. This is the right play by Trouba at this point. No, he shouldn't be taking the pass because you have two players now in the slot. So the shot becomes the bigger threat. You go ahead, you try to take the shot away here. Trouba makes the right decision. He just gets caught reaching because he's simply too tired to get that extra step in. He's too tired to gap up properly. And Aho takes full advantage. Beautiful save there by Shesterkin. Like absolutely world-class save, but Aho sticks with it, bangs in the rebound. Rangers get caught on a long shift. Trouba gets caught with a lot of ice time at that point in time. Puck ends up going in. We move into overtime, and this is what I mean. Jacob Trouba isn't actually in the shooting lane. He's nowhere near the net, and the puck ends up hitting him, unfortunately, on the hard side of the pants on the left there. That hard side of the pants ends up boxing or bumping out into the wrong area. It's just a lucky puck bounce at this point in time. That lucky puck bounce ends up bouncing back here to Carolina, so you can see he makes a little swipe at it there. Not much he can do. Again, Trouba's exhausted by this point in the game. Like, yes, defenseman can play 30 minutes. He's just played too many long shifts. Cole ends up backing up, just throwing a light loose one on net, and that's all she wrote. So in summary of the game, Rangers and Canes fans, I think Gallant's got to do a better job managing the ice time. He's got to do a better job managing the shifts of his players. Trouba can play 30 minutes of the game. Any defenseman can play 50, almost 60% of a game without getting burnt out, but they can't play 3-minute long shifts, minute and a half, 2-minute long shifts. Trouba had way too many long shifts. You got to get Adam Fox into the game if you're the Rangers. Antti Raanta stands on his head, steals it from the Canes. The Canes' terrible defensive zone, and the Canes are number number 1 in team defense. So they're going to return. I don't think the Rangers are going to get chances like that repeatedly, but I may be totally wrong. I think next game is going to be much more of a defensive battle for both teams. Unfortunately for the Rangers, they just let the Canes hang around way too long without being able to score on Raanta. This game could have been 5-1, 5-2, shouldn't have gone into overtime based on the first 2 periods. But this is Carolina hockey. This is the way the playoffs go. And this is a great example for those that watched the Colorado-St. Louis series yesterday. I had a lot of comments saying Colorado dominated. Colorado won that game hands down, and they did. But nobody really backed me up or understood what I was saying when I said Binnington making all those saves, keeping St. Louis so close. St. Louis was only 1 shot away from winning that game. And someone said, yeah, St. Louis got 0 shots in the overtime. And I can still stand by it. They were 1 shot away from winning that game. This is the example of the latter. So even though the Rangers didn't dominate the Canes the way the Avs did the Blues, it's still a similar example in the sense that if you let a team hang around too long and a goalie gets hot, it just takes 1 shot or 1 lucky bounce. The game goes the other way and you get to run away and say, we got it. So when these series are tight like they are, 1 lucky bounce is all it takes. That's the end of the game. That's the end of game 1. We'll see you all for game 2.